Right now, inside your skull, there is a universe. 86 billion neurons firing in patterns that define everything you think, feel, and believe. But here is the question no one is asking. What if most of those neurons are dormant? What if your brain is operating at a fraction of its designed capacity? We call it brain fog. We call it spiritual dryness. We call it burnout. But biologically, it has a name. It is the absence of a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as miracle-grow for your brain. It is the fertilizer that causes new neurons to be born, strengthens existing connections, and protects your brain from degeneration. Here is the miracle your body already knows how to perform. When BDNF levels rise, your hippocampus, the seat of memory, learning, and emotional regulation, begins to produce entirely new neurons. This is called neurogenesis, and the single most powerful natural trigger for this process is not a drug, not a supplement, not a therapy. It is fasting. When you stop feeding your body, you start feeding your brain. When you deny the flesh, you awaken the spirit. And now, science proves you are literally awakening the physical architecture of your mind. But this is not new knowledge. 2,000 years ago, a man walked into the wilderness and demonstrated exactly what fasting does to the human brain. Every single day, your cells accumulate damage. Misfolded proteins, dysfunctional mitochondria, metabolic waste. It is like trash piling up in a house no one cleans. Over time, this cellular debris clogs your neural pathways, slows your processing speed, and clouds your thinking. But your body has an ancient defense. It is called autophagy, from the Greek auto, self, and phagein, to eat. When you fast, your cells literally begin to eat their own waste. They digest the damaged components, recycle them, and rebuild. Dr. Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize in 2016 for decoding this exact mechanism. Fasting is not starvation, it is renovation. After approximately 12 to 16 hours without food, something extraordinary happens inside your brain. Your liver exhausts its glycogen stores and begins converting fatty acids into ketone bodies, specifically beta-hydroxybutyrate, or BHB. BHB is not just an alternative fuel, it is a superior fuel. It crosses the blood-brain barrier more efficiently than glucose, producing more ATP per unit of oxygen. Your brain literally runs cleaner, faster, and longer on ketones. And here is the convergence. BHB directly stimulates the production of BDNF. So fasting gives your brain two gifts simultaneously: a cleaner cellular environment through autophagy and a more powerful fuel source that also grows new brain cells. This is why people who fast consistently report not just physical benefits, but a profound sharpening of the mind, a deepening of focus. And here is where the ancient world understood what science is only now catching up to: an acute sensitivity to the spiritual. To understand the biblical architecture of fasting, we must look at the original languages. The Greek word for fasting is nisteia. It is derived from ne, not, and estho, to eat. But it carries a deeper connotation, a deliberate, purposeful abstinence for the sake of spiritual attunement. In the Old Testament, the Hebrew word tzom carries the same weight. Fasting in Scripture is never merely about food. It is about redirecting the fuel source of the soul. Consider the weight of Matthew 4:2. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The most important figure in human history chose to enter the wilderness refuse food for 40 days, and then, at the point of maximum physical depletion, confront the enemy of his soul. Biologically, after 40 days, Jesus would have been deep in ketosis. His brain would have been running on the cleanest possible fuel. His BDNF levels would have been dramatically elevated. His autophagy would have been in full effect. Every damaged cell cleaned and rebuilt. He was not weakened. He was optimized. Every temptation Jesus faced was designed to exploit a biological vulnerability: hunger, fear, pride. But in the fasted state, with a brain burning clean ketones, flooded with BDNF, and anchored in the Word, he was untouchable. His clarity was not just spiritual conviction, it was biologically fortified. When he said, "It is written," he was not reciting a memory. He was operating from a brain that had been renovated by 40 days of fasting. And this is the principle that the church has largely forgotten. Fasting is not punishment. It is preparation. We are now entering the lab. For the next few minutes, I want you to put down your distractions. Close your eyes if you are in a safe place. We are going to simulate the clarity that fasting produces, a taste of what your brain is designed to feel. Begin with your breath. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 8. As you exhale, imagine the fog leaving your mind, the worry, the noise, the clutter. It is not serving you. Release it. Now, I want you to picture the wilderness. Empty, silent, no notifications, no demands, no food demanding your attention, just you and the sky. In this emptiness, your brain begins to clean itself. The clutter is removed. The signal becomes stronger than the noise. This is what fasting does. It strips away the excess so that the essential can shine. Now, in this moment of clarity, I want you to hear one truth, a fixed truth, and let it settle into the clean architecture of your mind. Perhaps it is a promise. Perhaps it is a name. Perhaps it is simply this: you are held. Notice the stillness. Notice the quiet behind your eyes. This is what your brain feels like when it is fed with the right fuel. This is the clarity of the fasted mind. And it is available to you, not in 40 days, but in your very first step. We do not begin with 40 days. We begin with wisdom. For the first 2 days, practice the 12-hour window. Simply stop eating after dinner and do not eat until breakfast. This gives your body 12 hours to begin the metabolic switch and initiate early autophagy. You are teaching your body the rhythm of release. In the second phase, we extend to a 16-hour window, the 16-8 intermittent fast. Skip breakfast, drink water, and use the morning hours for scripture and prayer before your first meal. At 16 hours, BHB production begins in earnest. You will feel it, a sharpening, a quieting of the mental noise. Pair this clarity with the Word. Feed your spirit while your brain cleans itself. In the final phase, you attempt a single 24-hour fast from sunrise to sunrise. This is the wilderness day. It is your personal echo of the 40 days. For one full day, you deny the body and feed the soul. Use the hours for prayer, for journaling, for silence. When you break the fast at sunset the next day, you will feel it, not just in your body, but in your mind. A clarity you may never have experienced before. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. You were not designed to be enslaved to appetite. You were designed for clarity, for power, for a mind that hears the voice of God above the noise of the world. If you are ready to begin your 7-day fasting protocol, write the words, "I am seeking clarity," in the comments below, and tell us what country you are watching from. Selah. Pause. Reflect. I will see you in the next session.